On November 17, 2012, Salvador Alvarenga left the coast of Mexico. It was supposed to be a normal fishing trip. One day, maybe two. He had done this hundreds of times before, but the weather changed faster than anyone expected. And once the boat moved too far from shore, there was no turning back. The wind picked up. The waves grew taller. The sky turned dark. Then the engine stopped. The radio went silent. When the sun rose the next morning, the coastline was gone. Nothing in any direction except water. He wasn't alone. With him was a young deckhand, Ezequiel Cordoba, inexperienced, unprepared. Neither of them understood it yet, but that moment marked the beginning of a nightmare that would last more than a year. At first, they believed rescue would come. Fishing boats passed through these waters all the time. Someone would notice them. They tried paddling. They tried fixing the engine. Nothing worked. The current pulled them farther west, deeper into the Pacific Ocean. The ice melted. The food ran out. The sun burned their skin during the day, and at night, the cold felt endless. But thirst was worse than hunger. They waited for rain. Sometimes it came. Most days, it didn't. Salvador made a decision early on. If he wanted to live, he would have to eat whatever the ocean gave him. He began catching fish with his hands. He ate them raw. There was no fire, no knife, no tools. When birds landed on the boat, he caught them. When he caught sea turtles, he drank their blood, not because he wanted to, but because survival gave him no choice. Ezequiel couldn't do it. He refused to eat raw food, refused to drink blood. Day by day, his body grew weaker. After weeks at sea, Ezequiel became sick. He stopped moving. He stopped talking. One morning, Salvador woke up. Ezequiel was dead. For days, Salvador kept the body on the boat. He didn't want to be alone. He talked to it, prayed beside it, but eventually he said goodbye and released his friend into the ocean. From that moment on, there were no voices, no human faces, no conversation, only the sound of water hitting the boat. Time stopped making sense. Days blended together. Weeks passed without meaning. Salvador survived by routine: catch fish, collect rainwater, endure the storms. Sometimes he talked to himself just to hear a human voice. Other times, he said nothing for days. His skin burned. His body weakened. Sharks followed the boat. Storms nearly flipped it over more than once. He believed this would be the end. But every morning, he woke up. And as long as he woke up, he kept going. After many months, something inside him broke. No ships, no planes, no rescue. He believed the world had forgotten him. He thought about giving up. Then it rained. Just water falling from the sky. Enough to drink. Enough to remind him he was still alive. So he survived one more day, then another. On January 30th, 2014, after 438 days at sea, Salvador saw something different on the horizon. At first, he wasn't sure. Then it became clear. Land. He had drifted more than 10,000 kilometers from Mexico to the Marshall Islands. When he reached the shore, his body collapsed. Villagers found him weak, confused, barely able to speak. When he told his story, many didn't believe him, but the evidence matched. The ocean currents, the timeline. It was real. Salvador survived the ocean, but survival left scars, not all of them visible, because living is one thing. Living with what you endured is another. 438 days, one boat, one man, and an ocean that failed to take him.